All right, you must be thinking about moving to Brookside in Kansas City. Well, today's your lucky day because I've put together a map video where I'm going to take you all around Brookside. I'm going to show you where it is in relation to Kansas City, all of the things that you're going to want to know about Brookside, what makes it a great place to live, and we're going to do that right now. Hi, I'm Max Jones. I'm with the Mojo Real Estate team. My partner Zach and I have been in business for over 20 years helping people just like you move to the Kansas City area and places like Brookside. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can hop on the Google and you can check it out and see that we have over 600 reviews online from people, and you can see what our clients have to say about us in their own words. So with that being said, whether you're ready to move in 9 days or 90 days, it's never too early to start doing your research and seeing what Kansas City has to offer. So thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna dive right into the map video. So I'm here at my office, my little pocket office at Keller Williams. Usually I'm at my home office doing these videos, but I thought we'd switch it up and do something a little different. And you'll see that I am all bundled up today because it is cold in Kansas City. Usually it doesn't get that cold in Kansas City, but today we are at like 11 degrees outside, so I've got my stocking cap on to keep warm. But we're here at my office, and I got my computer in front of me, so we're gonna dive right into the map video. And you can see in the map here that I have Kansas City pulled up right in the center of the map. And what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to show you kind of roughly where Brookside is with the cursor. It is right down here. You see Jacob Luce Park here? It is just south of Jacob Luce Park and just inside the Missouri state line. So here's the Kansas-Missouri state line, and Brookside, the area that we're gonna be talking about, is right in here. But before we zoom in and talk about it specifically, what I'd like to do is show you where it is in relation to the Kansas City Metro. So here's the Kansas City Metro, and I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole of Kansas City one more time here. All right, yeah, that's a little better. So what we're talking about is right down here on the south side of Kansas City, just on the Missouri side, but the whole metro is here. So you see 435 highway, we talk about that a lot in our videos. You can see it in circles, the entire metro area. And just on the north side, right around here, is the airport. The Kansas City and the International Airport is right in here. So a little bit of a jaunt from Brookside to the airport, but not too bad, probably about 30 minutes. You just hop on 71, and 71 turns into I-29 and takes you right up to the airport here by Farrell View. So before we zoom in, I'll show you the Kansas City Royals and Chiefs Stadium is over here. The Sporting Kansas City and the big old racetrack where they have the Kansas City Speedway is what it's called, is over here on 435. And so really Brookside is kind of in the middle of all the action. You got Overland Park here, over here is the Lee Summit and Blue Springs. And right in here is downtown Kansas City with the Plaza. So you're right in the middle of all the action. But you are kind of left without the best highway access. As you zoom in, you can see really, as we get closer to zoomed in here, you can see that as you're right in here, the only highway access you really have is 71 highway, which is definitely sufficient. 71 will take you into downtown or take you down to 435, so you can navigate the city pretty good. You're close to the zoo too, you can see here. And as we zoom in, I'll show you the major roads that you need to be aware of. So right here is the Plaza, and as you're coming from downtown Kansas City, you've got Midtown, and then you've got Westport, and then you've got the Plaza, which is kind of the country club shopping district. Really nice area right in here at the Plaza. And as you're in the Plaza, if you hop on Ward Parkway and come down Ward Parkway this way, right along the state line, you run into Brookside. So Brookside is actually, if you Google map Brookside, it won't show you the boundaries like it will for a lot of the suburbs and cities within Kansas City. So I'm gonna use my handy map tool here, and I'm gonna show you where the boundaries are for Brookside. So basically what it is it's 55th Street, which is right here. That represents the northernmost border. and then it goes all the way from Ward Parkway to Troost. So you've got Troost here and on the eastern side, and Ward Parkway here on the western side, and it goes down to Gregory Boulevard, which is essentially 71st Street, but they call it Gregory Boulevard. So you've got about, I'd say about 16 blocks from north to south and about 20 blocks from east to west. And this little area is known as Brookside, and it has a couple of the main streets. You've got 63rd Street that cuts across, and you've got Warnell Road, which goes north and south, and then you have Ward Parkway over on this side, which I already outlined, kind of. It's a little bit of a crooked road. And then you've got Brookside. Brookside Boulevard comes through here and then actually runs right along Warnell Road and has a really cool park in between the two roads. And this is, you know, kind of where all the action's at, right here in the center of Brookside. You've got some on the south side in Gregory, and definitely some along Troost, some commercial areas. But the hub is right in here at 63rd and Warnell or Brookside Boulevard, where those intersect. So I will throw away those map tool things there. Oops. And I will zoom us in and show you guys where all the important stuff is. So basically what you're going to want to, you've got 71 highway over here. Troost is a main road, and you know, Gregory and 55th. Let me switch over to the layer view so you can see and get a better perspective on what we're looking at. So as you see here, 55th, this is all housing, all of this area right here. So it's a really great neighborhood for housing, and it's known for its walkability. You can see it's really dense housing with not a lot of big yards, and then most of the commercial area is over here on Troost. But then as we zoom in here to the main area, there's a little bit of a commercial hub right in here in the center of Brookside. But you can see how densely packed. Let me just zoom in a little bit more to give you a sense of the houses. We have a vlog video on Brookside where I take you around and I show you 3 different homes at 3 different price ranges. You know, I can probably pull those up or give you an idea of where those are to give you some perspective on the vlog video. But if you're interested in the area, the vlog video will definitely help. I've got one property that's at 67th and Rock Hill. So 67th is down here. Rock Hill is over on the west, or on the east side. Oh, here's Rock Hill right here. So I think it's like right around this area here. That's the least expensive home in the vlog video, coming in at $325. Then I've got one at 59th and Walnut, was the second most expensive home. And Walnut, I believe, is back over here by Warnell. Yeah, in fact, it's right off of Warnell Road, if I remember right. So 59th and Walnut is right in here off of Warnell Road, and it's right where all the happening stuff is. And then we've got one at 70th and just west of Warnell. So it's clear at the south side. The second one was $399, and the most expensive one was $550. I think it's right in here, the third and most expensive one. So definitely tune into the vlog video and check those out. But I'd like to show you a couple of things that you're gonna wanna know, which are, let me just switch off this layer view because I wanna show you the parks. So one of the biggest and best parks in Kansas City is located just on the northwest corner of Brookside. So not technically in Brookside, if you're a purist on Brookside's boundaries, but it's right on the corner. So I think of it as being part of Brookside, and it is a phenomenal park. It's called Jacob Luce Park. Everybody just calls it Luce Park, but it is, I'll click back over to the layer view so you can see, it's just a phenomenal park. It would kind of remind you of Central Park. If you're from New York, or if you're from Brooklyn, there's a really great park in Brooklyn too. I can't think of the name of it, but it's phenomenal. It's got tennis courts and ponds and walking trails and huge open area for people to picnic and throw the ball around and play frisbee. And it's got all these gardens and playgrounds, and it's just a beautiful park in the summer for you to hang out and get your recreation. But as far as parks go, one of the biggest parks, other than Luce Park, is the park that exists between Brookside, right along Brookside Boulevard, and between Brookside and Warnell. You can see right here at 55th Street, you've got Brookside Park, And then right along Brookside Boulevard, there's Triangle Park. And then there's this trolley trail that runs all the way through here for biking and running, and just goes pretty much the whole length. As you come up close to Warnell Road here, there's a little zig and a zag right where the main hub of all the commercial activity in Brookside is. And then it picks up again, and there's this park between Warnell Road and Brookside Road that just goes all the way the length of Brookside all the way down to Gregory Boulevard where Brookside ends. So it's just a phenomenal area. If you click on the satellite view, you can see that it's kind of a park between these two neighborhoods here and Warnell Road. And it's just really an awesome part of the community that ties people together so they can go and, you know, have that park together there. Another park, well, not really a park, is a cemetery. Oh, there's Rockhurst, really big school in the area. Let me see here. Let me click on the layer view again. Sorry to be bouncing back and forth between views, but oh, okay, I thought it was on the north side. It's actually on the south side of north of Waldo. So this area right south of Brookside after Gregory Boulevard is called Waldo, and you definitely want to tune in to our Waldo video series. We've got a vlog and a map and a pros and cons on Waldo as well. But just here, kind of just on the other side of Troost, is a huge cemetery that is kind of like a park. If you're not spooked out by the quiet residents in the cemetery, it is a beautiful place. I'll click on the layer view so you can see that it's full of trails and it's a park-like setting. And Franklin Roosevelt came to Kansas City one time and visited this cavalry cemetery it's called, and he commented on how many trees it has. I can't remember how many species of trees, but it has hundreds of species of trees, and it's just a beautiful park. So really another noteworthy area about Brookside. Yeah, so the trolley trail runs all along Brookside Boulevard and is an awesome place to get your jog in or your bike ride. Let's see, major employers in the area. A lot of people will live in Brookside that work downtown, so it's kind of an area that doesn't have a huge hub of employment, but the surrounding areas do. So it's more of a neighborhood. But right on the, let's see, I think it's right down here, there is a hospital. The Rock Hill Medical Plaza, I believe, is right down here. Yeah, here it is. You can't really see it with this view. Let me change views once again, and you can see that this commercial hub right in here. You've got the ER of Brookside and the Rock Hill Medical Campus. So a lot of employment going on right here. And then, you know, like not major employers, but lots of little local shops. You know, you have your restaurants and your boutiques and your cafes and that sort of thing that any neighborhood would have. But before we talk about all of well, let's just do that. We'll talk about all the main shops and stuff. A little more fun than the schools. So let's find our main hub, 63rd, okay. So a lot of the great places to go, and if you stick around to the end, I'll tell you my favorite place to go in Brookside, but a lot of the great places are here. And if I zoom in a little more, then it'll point them out. So you've got a breakfast place called Homegrown. I think they're a chain. You got your Constantino's Market here to get your groceries. You got Charlie Hooper's Brookside Bar and Grill. You've got the Brookside Barrio, which is a Mexican restaurant. You got a really great sushi place, Kabuki Sushi. Red Door Wood-Fired Grill is a place that I believe that kid that played for Mizzou, Drew Locke, I believe his family owns Red Door, and there's one up north too. But really, one of my no, they own Summit Grill. I lied. But anyway, Red Door is a great place to grab some brunch or some dinner. Let's see, we'll get out of this little main area, and I'll glance along there's a lot down here on Gregory Boulevard. You've got Front Range Cafe, that's kind of more Waldo, even though it's right on the border. And then as you go up Troost, Cafe Reflections. I've never heard of this place. Nisi's Restaurant. Got the New Landing Mall here. You got Plate Brookside. Looks like a pretty well-rated restaurant there. Heirloom Bakery. You know, as you go all along Troost, it's just stacked full of full of businesses. When you go up to 55th, that kind of represents the northern side, and Warnell Road. It's not as busy up here in Brookside as it does get down into Waldo, and as you head down south towards 435, it's a lot more commercialized. But yeah, those are the main places, except my favorite place. I didn't mention my favorite spot yet, but let's talk about schools. So schools are important in the Kansas City area, Kansas City, Missouri. It's important to know that Kansas City lost their accreditation at one point. They've regained it since, but there was a 10-year period there where they lost their accreditation from the state and a lot of their state funding, and where it was a pretty bad spot for schools. But what's happened as a result is a lot of charter schools have popped up in this area, and they're also state funded, but it just gives parents optionality. So one of the biggest and best is the Academy Lafayette right here. There is, I'll just name several of them, several of the schools in the area. You've got Pembroke Hill, you've got Rockhurst, Borderstadt Montessori, St. Teresa's Academy, St. Peter's, you've got University Academy, Frontier of Excellence, Transition Academy, Hogan Prep. So tons of school options, but the public schools, the Kansas City public schools, are still not the best in the area. They're not the best academically rated. So a lot of the people that live here, their priorities are more about the walkability and being in a hip area, part of town where a lot of the arts are and that sort of thing. Young business professionals that are working downtown. Those are kind of typically the demographic that you're going to see in the area. You will certainly see some families, and I'm not saying that it's not a good place for a family, but a lot of times what we'll see is our clients who live there, once they start a family, start having kids, their priorities change. They want a bigger yard, they want more price per square foot, or less price per square foot, more square footage in a house, and a little more bang for your buck. So to get away from their kids, probably. You got to get away from them little boogers, after they grow up and start, sassing you. But my kids are 14 and 12, so I definitely need to get away from them when I get a chance. But yeah, I'm just kidding. It's a good place for both family and for younger folks, but typically what we see is people with the priority of walkability and being right in the mix of everything that's happening, rather than being out in the burbs where you got to drive to a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'm just rambling on and on. I'm at 22 minutes here on the video. I really appreciate you sticking around with me. So I'm going to reveal, since you stuck around to the end, I'm going to reveal my favorite place, which is let me just search it up here. It is the Brooksider Sports Bar and Grill. Is just a great place. Let me see if I can click on their website. It's right in that 63rd and Brookside Road area. You can kind of see on their website. It's a fun place. They've got a huge patio, so when the weather's nice, everybody's out on the patio, and they've got great food. I mean, they've got wings, these dry rub wings that are phenomenal. They've got tons of burgers and wraps and sandwiches and pizza. It's a great place for food and to watch the game. If you're watching the Royals game in the summer, Chiefs game, it's a great place to get with your flock and root on the hometown team. They've even got music on the weekends where they bring in local bands and stuff. So the Brooksider is my favorite place to hang out in Brookside. So with that being said, I'm just going to wrap it up. If you don't mind liking the video, if you actually like the video. If you didn't like it, then don't like the video. But subscribe to the channel if you want updates on our upcoming videos. If you're thinking about moving to the area, definitely reach out to Zach or me. If you call the number below in the description, it'll ring both of our cell phones, and whoever picks up first, you'll get to talk to them. Or if you prefer to reach out via email, you can hop on our website, you can submit a form there. However you prefer to reach out, if you have questions, we want to be a resource for you, so we would love to hear from you. And if you live in Brookside and you think I forgot something, please drop a comment below. Those comments help our viewers know, hey, Max forgot this and this is important too. We want it to be kind of a conversation there. So this isn't an all-encompassing, all-inclusive video, everything you need to know. This is just a little taste about Brookside. We want to bring awareness to folks that are moving to Kansas City area about what Brookside has to offer. So thank you so much for tuning in, and until the next one, I'll see you then.